couple things that clearly look fake, and the idea that I need a cooperative partner to make some of these Aiki blending sort of movements work in the real world. First concept is we call rear triangulation. That is the place that he needs to step if I push him. He's going to place a foot. Or that point is a place that he just sat down and squatted on a bucket or something like that. That's called the rear triangulation point. We use that a lot against opponents. And if his feet are angled a little bit, more of a martial arts stance, go like sideways to me a little bit there. Okay? It's not back that way, but the point shifts. So that point is constantly in play. Go ahead and move your feet if you would. And it's shifting behind you all the time. So I just need to be aware of where that point is in a lot of my movements. We call it rear triangulation. I'm going to use this as an illustration. It sits right about there. So it's a tripod, like we would for a camera. So the body inherently is designed to move. It's not designed to stay there, and it always tries to fix itself naturally. You learn how to walk like this. So that's something we're going to take advantage of. If he can't move his heels, and I can tip him, you grab me for a second. And if I can just tip him on his heels like this, sort of like a refrigerator on the corner, he's dependent on me. So that's the game. We're trying to tip him. And we're trying to use this idea of triangulation. And right now he's dependent on me because he's allowing me to get this far. That's not combat. But we have to set this up over and over. So I'm going to use this kettlebell as an example, and I can shift you over here, Eric, to use this against him. This idea of weight and triangulation working together. So this thing is about 35 pounds. So I'm going to put it up on his chest like this. He's going to hold it right there. And you're going to see that if I take 35 pounds, when he's here, it's fine. But put my hands on it and I shift my hips over and shift him with it, all of a sudden he's having a really difficult time. His lower back starting to lower. I get under tension. And then I just sort of let him fall. I have to hold that back because that's pretty gnarly. Are you there? Okay, so let's just sort of move it up. No, we're going to like shift it up. We're going to shift it and then drop it, okay? It's very powerful. Now, if I try to go like this and resist, and I'm pushing against it, we're in this war like this. Me under tension, him under tension, and everything's happening right here. But if I relax and move my hips and just let the weight work. Another example of this, you hold it right here, Eric, on this side, down at your side. This sideways so we can see in the camera. Okay, he's good. He can hold that all day long. However, if I shift that weight over to the rear triangulation point, he becomes incredibly unstable, just with the weight alone. Can you put it in your other hand so we can film that too? All right, so notice I'm not jerking, I'm not pulling. I'm just taking this 35 pounds and putting it over that spot, and you're not falling for it, right, Eric? It's just, I want you to absolutely resist, okay? Do not let this happen to you, okay? Okay? All right, so what does 35 pounds of dead weight do? It's very effective if I can just sort of hand him the kettlebell. And that's, I didn't even give you 35 pounds. I just sort of handed it to you a little bit. Took a lot of the weight off. So that's a key idea. Let's talk about weights now. The weight of his arm. One of my students gave me a good website that said, what percentage of the body is the arm? I think it's about 12% of your weight in your arm. We got his shoulder, his ribs, his head. I always say it weighs about as much as a bowling ball. So that's positioning his arm over there, his shoulder, and his head all over that spot. That's his weight. And he's allowing me to do it, I get it. But if he grabs me, right here, just for, again, training purposes, I go, look, I want this weight, I want that weight, and that weight to go over. So don't fall yet. Here we go. I'm actually holding you back. Then I take my weight, and I put it all over there. It adds up to well over 35 pounds. Yeah. So how do I put a kettlebell on his chest? We're hanging out, okay? What I do is I find a way to get underneath him by relaxation. Now right now it's pretty stable. I am going to form the kettlebell with weight over the top of his chest. I'm going to try to do it through tension. Don't let me do it, please. Let's take it. We're bowling, he's bowling. Yeah, I can get, it's a lot of work. Now I go, I relax, I put the weight in there, and I put him down. You're a lot of resistance. Now that's just showing you right here. He grabs my wrist, and I put the weight over there. I'm literally visualizing this kettlebell sort of swinging over there and going through him. Anytime I carry the weight this way or this way, it's very hard for me. But if I swing the kettlebell over there, I get an instant result. So the idea is mentally, I have a framework now of a ball, and I put it right there, a ball of metal. My ball of metal is going to be here now. Take the ball of metal, and I take a big kettlebell that I put on my hip and drop it to a very specific area. It's the rear triangulation point. Well, why is this useful in combat? Because if I have something I want to get to him, and he's stopping me from getting it, I can try to come through. Yeah, I know I can shift hands, I got it. But let's say I wanted to use this, okay? I can't get it directly. But when I relax and I start shifting, it's very little effort to get him off balance and then start using weight to finish him. We're starting from static. When I'm moving, then I, look at him. Finish him. Weight shifting, kettlebell moving. There's the kettlebell out here. Look at him. Drop the weight on him. It doesn't have to be directly into him. I'm going to throw the kettlebell over this way. The kettlebell, yes, he was holding on him up, but the kettlebell went like this underneath him. Then you have swung kettlebells, you know it's not just your arms. It needs to come from your core. This is the same idea. I'm throwing from my core now. Not too much tension on it, but that's the idea. I can fight. We've been talking about resistance here. Or I can find ways to shift the kettlebell. Sorry. That was weight over the top. Kettlebell. Ooh. I'm going to show you where I'm putting the weight. Kettlebell. Not a lot of mystical stuff going on there. If I move him a little bit, say, oh, there's the kettlebell on top. He wants this, he moves. Here's the weight, it's in here. I move my weight. I threw a kettlebell through my hips, through him. It's pretty gnarly, it's hard to stop. Let's slow down for a second. I can put the weight on here. I can pick up my kettlebell and put it across his hips. I can take the kettlebell, form it right here, and go. So it doesn't mean I need to go into him all the time. It means I have this really cool thing he's trying to hold on to, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Right? It seems obvious. I'm going to be a little nutty, but I'm going to go. Don't pick your head up so I don't hit you in the face. That's, it's a lot of tension, but that's the general idea. Also, well, that makes sense. But where you lose it is you think, well, no, I go, let's make that heavy. Let's make the kettlebell swing through there. Now, there's not a lot going on this side. You're wrenched down on this part. Yeah. You got the gun too. See, this is great. He's got the whole kettlebell held on. I just throw it over his head. The key thing here, again, is not getting involved, relax for a second, not putting my mind and my body right here. Hold on to that for a second. Okay, let go. Let me get this, but hold it in space. We can do the illustration. I need to disconnect myself from here and go, oh, all right. Okay. Can I do that? Can I do that when I'm here? It's like, yes, I can. Here's the head. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy, right?
Very heavy.
You have all the tension's here, but I'm ignoring it. Heavy, heavy, heavy. So the practice has to be disconnecting from this. Yet, not letting you just tear it out of my hands. There might be a little bit of movement, I get that, but kettlebell. Kettlebell, exhale, like you would with a weight.
Yeah.
Everybody understand that? So, this, everybody goes, don't put your chin. Everybody gets that, right?
Yeah,
That's 35 pounds, oh my gosh. Dense. Yes. 12, 12, 12, head. There's the kettlebell. How much tension is in my arm?
not much.
If it's tight, I can't get it in there. See, you pick me up. Relaxation is not necessarily easy at first, but it makes your life easier when you use it. All right, so that's a basic idea. Triangulation and putting heavy weights in places that he can't support it. Imagining you have a kettlebell and learning how to swing it into places that doesn't allow him to stand up.